Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Clickbait and Coffee. We're going to give it just a second. Let everybody get in here. Let StreamYard and YouTube catch up. And then we'll start this shenanigan stuff. Guys, today is, what is today? Tuesday, November 4th. We're on like day 35 of the government shutdown. I've kind of quit keeping track. It pops up every now and then on something about it on TikTok, and I'll kind of watch for just a second. But other than that, I'm kind of over it. Chantel, good morning. Thanks for being in here. And Ground Fog made a comment at almost 10 o'clock last night. I guess Ground Fog, as soon as he sees it, he jumps in there and makes a comment. I appreciate that a bunch. All right, guys, it is cool outside, and my wife and one of her friends from church are playing who can last the longest on not turning the heat on. So her and one of the girls at church, they're like, oh yeah, we're not going to turn the heat on. So we've yet to turn the heat on in the house, and it's a little bit nipply, but not too bad. I think it was 66 this morning or something inside the house. It's not bad. We'll live. But I say it's supposed to get cold later on. So, but guys, don't forget Land Nav class. The Land Nav workshop that Mike Adkins is doing, it is this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Mike's coming in on Thursday, I think Thursday night. And I'm meeting him up there Friday morning. We're going to get the course laid out and all that fun stuff. So it's going to be fun. I get to hang out with Mike all day Friday and do that. LP, only I'm allowed to touch the thermostat. Yeah. I told her, I'm like, whatever you want to do. I was like, if you want to play this thing, I was like, I'm cool. Do whatever you want to. It's no skin off my butt. So I don't know. But our house is like super insulated, and it does not get that cold in the house. I mean, our bills are like next to nothing. And I'll tell you, on propane, we don't use a whole lot of propane just when it goes down to past 35. So we're going to see how long this lasts. But LP, I've got to watch that video of you and your girlfriend eating the MRE. It popped up yesterday, and I did not have a chance to watch it yet. I've got that thing saved. I'm going to watch it today. Well, when I get a break where I can actually watch it. So, yeah, Chantel, can always put an extra layer on. I'm like, yeah, I mean, heck, when it's wintertime, I wear hoodies all the time. So, I mean, I just took my hoodie off when it was time for bed and jumped in bed and jumped underneath the covers. But back to Land Nav. There's a few spots left for that. We would like to have you. If y'all want to come to it, we got it at 25% off. There's no coupon code needed. We just stuck it on sale, so we didn't have to worry about coupon codes or anything like that. Also, if you're not signed up on the email list, you need to get that signed up on it, because Shelly and I are sending out the Black Friday deals. We've already started a few of those, and I'll touch on those in just a minute. Darren, good morning. Hey, Darren, are you doing better? I know Patty put in here the other day that you'd been in the hospital and all that. I hope you were doing okay. I figure you're doing decent if you're on Facebook and watching and commenting on here. So, but guys, don't forget also the herbal workshop with Leslie from the School of Earth and All. Leslie is amazing on herbal stuff. I mean, she knows so much stuff. It's crazy. But her workshop is December 6th, and that's in Bowling Green. We're actually tomorrow. Yeah. Excuse me. Tomorrow night, Shelly and I will be on with Leslie, and we're going to be talking about the class and what we're going to go over and all that kind of stuff. So be looking out for that. That'll be tomorrow at 8 o'clock. But her herbal workshop is December 6th. So if you want to get tickets for it, go ahead and jump on the website and sign up for that. And then, all right, we'll tell you, the Black Friday thing we have going on right now is free shipping over $150. So if you spend over $150, you get free shipping. Plus, you're going to get 10% off on your order. So no, I don't think there's any codes needed for that or anything. But I know the free shipping, as long as you get $150 or more, the free shipping is automatic. And then I think the 10% is automatic also. Shelly set that up, so I'm not 100% sure. But I know you'll get free shipping over $150, and you'll get 10% off your order. And that started, it's on right now. It's on right now, and I think that's going to go till the end of the month. So that is the Black Friday deal for right now. And Darren says, doing good. All right, good, Darren. I'm glad. So, hey, what's everybody else doing? We ain't got a ton of people in here this morning. So, did everybody have a good weekend? I got some stuff done around the house. I finally got the kitchen and one of the hallways painted in the house that my wife had been all over me about painting. So got it done on Saturday. And then Sunday I had to go pick up a load of hay. So I went and did that after church. And then after that, kind of hung out and everything. My mom and my brother and his girlfriend came over Sunday night. We had Sunday dinner, and everybody just kind of hung out and had a good time. Yesterday I was doing some work at my brother's house, getting stuff done, and then working on getting the orders out. I've been programming these little jokers. So I've got those programmed. Those are the AR5RMs. I've got a twin pack of those we're going to send out probably this afternoon. And going to send those jokers out, box them back up, send them out with a bunch of other stuff and everything. Let me see. Dana, I'm here headed to an appointment, so only a few minutes. And Dana, I forgot. Dana came down and got one of my chicken pluckers and wanted to borrow it. So she came over on Saturday morning, grabbed the chicken plucker, and I think they're processing chickens on Friday. So Dana did that, and I mean, she asked me, she was like, "Are you serious about letting me borrow a plucker?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I got two of them." I was like, "It ain't no big deal." I was like, "That's kind of what community stuff is about, letting people borrow stuff, you know." I mean, I'm not worried she's not going to tear it up or anything like that. So I was like, "Come get the thing." So hopefully she will have a good time processing chickens on Friday, even though I think there's like 60% chance of rain on Friday, but it is what it is. Chantel, good weekend. Trying to get my tiny house buttoned up for winter. It's a slow go, not much help. I understand. I mean, it's everybody's getting stuff ready for winter and all that good stuff. There's not a whole lot left that I've got to do, buttoning stuff up. But I tell you what, when it does get, since it's got, since it's gotten cooler, I've got a bunch of trees that I need to cut up and all that kind of stuff. So that's my plan, is getting out, cutting some trees and cutting those jokers up, getting them out of the field. And I just did not want to do that when it was, 100 degrees and stuff like that. It's so much nicer using a chainsaw when you're in long sleeves and not sweating your butt off. So that's one of the things I'm going to button up. I've got a little bit of fence in some areas that I need to fix to where I can take the animals from our place over to the neighbors and they won't get out, and do some stuff like that. But yeah, this weekend was not, like I said, I painted the kitchen, the hallway, did all that fun stuff, and then I relaxed a lot of the weekend. So yeah, I've got, after this, I got to run to my brother's house for a while, do a couple things there, and then I want to come back, finish packing orders and all that good stuff. So guys, if you need first aid kits, everything's in stock except for red IFAKs. I still haven't got any more of those in yet. That, and then all the radios are in stock, whether you want one of the 5RMs or if you want some of the, we got TYT 9800 base stations, and then the TYT 8600, the smaller base stations. We got those in. Those come with a consultation. Well, first I'll program those jokers for your area, program them, and then Brian and Susan with S&B Homestead Radio, they are going to do the consultation for you. So you get a 30-minute video consultation with them. They're going to show you, once you get your radio, they're going to let you have it for about a week, and then they're going to walk you through how to use the thing and show you all that. So, all right. OPSEC. OPSEC and trust, and how much you should really tell people. This is a big thing with people, and you see a lot of people talking. It's like, well, let me see. Let's see what Darren said real quick. Got some electric in the wood shop and finishing up the driveway gates this week. That sounds cool. So, electric in the wood shop is always handy to do, unless you're Amish and you're doing it all by hand. So, all right, OPSEC. People talk about OPSEC all the time. You hear all these guys that want to be tactical. They're like, OPSEC, I'm not going to tell anybody anything because then you'll blow your OPSEC. Some guys really don't know what they're talking about. Honestly, some guys just run their mouth. And I mean, it's like they get, diarrhea of the mouth, and they just tell people everything. People they don't even know. They're just like, oh yeah, I've got 37 guns and 10,000 rounds of ammo and food for, 50 people for 3 years and all this stuff. And it's like, dude, you're at the mall food court and you're telling the guy you're getting your food from about this. It's like, you need to slow your roll some. But OPSEC, as far as in the definition in real world terms, is protecting sensitive information that could put you or your family at risk, aka keeping your mouth shut. So let's kind of dive into some of it on how much you should really tell people. A real life scenario kind of thing, and I made a bunch of notes on it. If your neighbor's kid is hungry during a crisis, and you've got food, what do? Do you protect what's yours, or do you help? And what if they already know you got supplies because you've talked to them too much? So that's the whole thing. It's in letting enough information out, but keeping some of the stuff held back. And who has the information? Who knows everything about what you've got? Some of your examples, and I've already told you the definition, is letting out too much information that could put you and your family at risk. Some of your examples, telling people how much food you've got stored, telling people how many guns you've got, posting all your gear online. You see guys all the time. They're posting with their chest rigs or their plate carriers, their new AR, and all this stuff. And then it's like, holy cow, posting all that stuff. Or, hey, I've got new night vision, or, hey, I got a new thermal, stuff like that. Announcing your bug out location or security plans public. It's like, oh yeah, when, we're going to our bug out location. Our bug out location is in Edmonson County. It's in Edmonson County. We're down off 101, that kind of thing. And we've got 300 acres down there that we're going to bug out to. And then, the security stuff, we've got cameras everywhere. We've got guard dogs on the property, and then we've got LPOPs. We got listing posts at the front gate and all this kind of stuff. It's just, you keep telling all these security plans and stuff like this, and it's like, it's not security plans if everybody knows about it. And then also some of your stuff on comms plans. You're looking at it, you're telling people, well, we're going to use, this is what we got programmed in our radios, and we're planning on using GMRS channel 4, and then that's really good. And if we have to go to a backup, we're going to use MERS, channel 4. And then if we go on about this, then we're going to use so-and-so. So don't tell people all your comms plans either. And there's a lot of stuff we can talk about comms on here, but some of the stuff is, we're not going to talk about all of it on there. People don't need to know everything about it. And honestly, social media is the biggest killer of OPSEC that there is, because people post so much stuff and they don't really realize it. Sometimes people will do like full tours of their house and everything. They'll grab their phone and put it on a selfie stick, and they're like, hey, look, we're going to go through here. And they're just panning around and showing you all kinds of stuff in their house and everything like that. And it's like you're getting a layout of their house. They're showing you all their gun safes and everything. They're taking you through the pantry, all that stuff. And they share more than they realize. So, I mean, it's not hard. Now, I try to be careful on stuff. Yes, I'm on social media. OPSEC is blown on some stuff. But with the camera lens, I'm very particular on exactly what I want to show you. You don't know where, that I'm in my basement. So that's where my office is at. I don't, we're not going to pan around and do all this and walk you through the food stores and all that. But a lot of people that aren't thinking about that will show a lot of stuff, on social media that they don't really intend to show. And then Chantel says, as for food, if someone asks me how much I have, standard answer is neither none of your business or I have sufficient for now. Yeah, exactly. Bill, good morning. Hope you're having a good day. All right. Key point on that. OPSEC is not about paranoia. It's about balance. If you give a little and you're exposed, you give too much and you're isolated. So, I mean, all right. The whole thing is, all right, we've got sheep is one of the main things we raise here. The neighbors know we have sheep. There's not really, it's going to be hard to hide, and the neighbors don't know that you have livestock. They hear the sheep going by, they hear the cow moo, stuff like that. They hear the roosters crow. So some of that stuff is going to be hard to do because, a couple of neighbors have been up here. They know we raise sheep. They know we got some pigs, stuff like that. I'm not going to be able to hide that from those people. They see me coming in with round bales of hay. Even if they're stupid, they're like, why is the guy taking hay up there? We're taking hay up there because we're feeding livestock. But the neighbors don't need to know how many guns I've got or how much food storage I have or if I've got a comms plan set up. They don't really need to know that unless I want them to know it. So part of the OPSEC stuff is there's stuff that you can hide, and then there is stuff that you can't hide. So, I mean, I guarantee if you're living anywhere close to anybody, your neighbors know that, hey, you've got chickens or that you've got sheep or you got a couple cows. They're going to know that kind of stuff. So there's certain things that you can hide and certain things that you can't hide. So just be careful with the stuff that you can hide. The neighbors might not. I mean, if you've got a food forest and you've got a bomb food forest out there, you could do it. And Billy over at Permapastures talks about a tactical food forest. Realistically, if you're food forest and you've done it right, it just looks like a jumbled mess of stuff, and people wouldn't guess that there's food in there, other than if they see the apples on the trees or the pears on the trees, something like that. So, but you can do your food forest. It's not going to make any noise. A lot of people are going to walk by it, and it just looks like a grown-up part of your yard. So your garden also, I mean, your garden people, if you've got a traditional garden and raised beds and stuff like that, if somebody comes up and sees, they're going to be like, okay, this guy's gardening. A lot of people aren't going to be like, holy cow, here's a food supply. Here's a food supply. And we're just going to come in, and this guy knows what he's doing. He's growing, whatever. He's growing all this food. It's going to be something that we can come in and get. Let's see. Bill says, I'm having a great time getting things done. We recently discovered through trail cameras that we have a coyote problem too close to the chicken yard for comfort. Well, Bill, you need to get out and shoot those coyotes. That, or you need to get you a good livestock guard dog to take care of those jokers. So I've shot several coyotes, but I tell you what, since we've got livestock guard dogs, I do not have coyotes coming on the property anymore. So, Bill, you might want to get some foot traps and trap those coyotes. Trap those jokers, or get a live trap. I've got a live trap that's big enough for a coyote. I've never caught one in the live trap, but I sure would like to try that. I've set it out several times, but never caught anything. Most of the time, we just wind up shooting the coyotes if they ever came up here. But like I said, the dogs are out back. They keep them run away all the time. And let's see. Bill says, I'm turning my chicken yard into a high fence. That would be a good idea. Darren says, if it's beans, bullets, or Band-Aids, then you limit info and never reveal your home layout. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like I said, y'all know I'm sitting in the basement. So, I've got a basement and I'm sitting down here. Other than that, the only other thing that I think I've ever said is directly above me is a bedroom. So, I mean, there's no big great thing. And the basement, I've done videos, where we're down in one corner using the freeze dryer and stuff like that. So it's kind of one of those things. You can limit on how much you want to show people. So, all right. Now, one of the big things is, as far as not blowing your OPSEC, is who you're going to trust, on this stuff. And you should have layers, or concentric circles. And, as it gets in, you've got one big circle, and then you've got circles that are going in. And as you go in on those circles, your trust level gets way higher. Like level 1, casual contact stuff. Your neighbors, now these will be neighbors that you don't really know. If you've lived by this guy 20 years and you've known him and all this stuff, he's probably not going to fall into level 1 because you're probably friends, and he's going to fall down in level 2 or 3. But essentially, level 1 is your casual contact. It's going to be neighbors and coworkers, people like that. People like a lot of your coworkers. I don't have coworkers just because I work for myself, but I'm going to put customers in for my coworkers. Yeah, we might talk about a little bit of prepping stuff and everything like that. Some of my customers are preparedness people. Some of them are homesteaders. So we start talking about that kind of stuff. But that is your level 1. Talk about it a little bit, but don't, start vomiting all your information on stuff just because it's a casual conversation. Now, if you wanted to, if you're on vacation and everything like that, and you're in Florida or whatever, yeah, you could probably throw a little bit more stuff because this guy is probably nowhere near where you live. You could tell him a few extra things and you're probably never going to see the dude again. So, but level 1 is casual contact. Your neighbors, your coworkers, customers, stuff like that. Number 2, level 2 is shared interest people. These are fellow preparedness people, homesteaders, and local farmers. That's where you're getting, these guys a little bit better. You can let out a little bit more. It's, hey, I've got a fair amount of guns, and we train on stuff. We've got a fair amount of medical supplies. Medical supplies is one of my things. We're trained to take care of medical issues. Yeah, I've got some food stored up, that kind of stuff. Talk about it, but you're not letting everything through. It's almost, honestly, it's almost like dating. Not that I've done dating for a long time, but it's almost like dating. You go out on the first date, you talk about just plain basic stuff. What do you do for a living? What kind of food do you like? How many brothers and sisters do you have? Your parents, stuff like that. Some people might talk about sports. I don't talk about sports, don't watch sports or whatever. But, people will talk about that, talk about their job. If you like the person, you go out on a few more dates, then you get more in depth. You start talking about other things, other things, more personal stuff. And then as you keep going and going, you get engaged and you get married. And then it's, like, hey, y'all, everything about me. There's no secrets, none of that. So it's kind of like dating a little bit. And we'll get to the 3rd level in just a second. Let's see what Bill says. It's not necessary to tell everything you know or have to anyone. Exactly. And Bill says he agrees with Chantel. My answer is usually vague or none of your business. So, all right. Level 3. This is your inner circle of people. This is that tight, close-knit circle of people that you 100% trust. You would trust these people with your family. These are people that I would trust with my wife and my kids. That I could go off and be like, hey, here, I've got to be gone for a while. These are people that I would trust to pick my son up from school or to watch my son if I had to do something. It's a very small circle of people. I mean, Shelly is one of those people. Shelly knows pretty much, unless I haven't told her about some new gadget or something that I bought. Shelly knows almost everything, as far as my preparedness and my homestead. I mean, heck, when I was gone on vacation, Randy came down and took care of the animals for me. I mean, he had access, if he needed to get into the shop, needed to get in the house, anything like that, he knew how to do it. So that's that level of people. And I put it people that you would trust with your family and your supplies. They know pretty much everything. So, I mean, there's a few people like that. There's probably, I don't know, 10 people that I've got that know most everything I've got. And there's about 10 people that I would totally, outside of my family, that I would trust to pick up my kid from school or, take my kid over to their house and be like, hey, watch him for a little bit. I've got to run do something. Or that know all the supplies I've got and everything like that. So those are your 3 levels. That's your big circle, your medium circle, and your itty bitty circle. So now, how do you vet these people? That's one of the things. Just because you've known somebody for years and years and years doesn't mean they're in your inner circle. I've known people for 20 years that are nowhere near the inner circle. I still consider them level 1, casual contact. I know a lot about them, but I don't trust them. So watch. One of the big things is watch people's consistency. And I've said this, I don't know, no telling how many times. Do they follow through? I will teach someone and show someone something twice. And if they don't pick it up and understand and do and start following through, after twice, I'm done. It's like I'm not wasting my time on you anymore. But now that's not to say, okay, I've had people come to me and be like, hey, I need to start preparedness. I need to start putting food up, that kind of stuff. What should I do? So I'll lay out a plan with them. It's like, hey, we need to do this. Write out a plan. Let's go. And they'll ask me a question again later, and it's like, hey, what have we done to get on this plan? They're like, well, I got busy at work. I hadn't had time to do anything like that. I'm going to start. And then they'll hit me again. They're like, hey, what about this? And I'm like, have you made any steps in what I told you, 2 months ago about it? And they're like, no. I'm like, cool, I'm done. I will help someone a couple times and set them down and give them advice a couple times. But if they have not made any kind of follow through on that after twice, I'm done talking to them about it. But now if somebody comes in and they're like, man, I am blowing it out of the water. They come to me and they're like, I'm trying, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. They're making progress and they still have questions. I will spend all kinds of time with those people because they're following through. They might not follow through as fast as they would like to, but they're putting in effort and they're doing the stuff and doing the work. So I will spend all kinds of time with those people. If they've got questions, I will talk to them. If they didn't understand something, I'll sit down, show them it again because they're putting in the work on it. They're not just sitting there blowing smoke. And there's a lot of people that don't follow through on stuff. I've seen so many people and talked to them about preparedness, homesteading, raising animals, starting your website, stuff like that they just never do it. And I'm like, it's almost like good idea fairies. I've had tons of people talk to them about business stuff and starting this and starting that. And they're like, man, that'd be a great idea. I was like, well, do it, After a while, I'm just like, forget it. I'm not going to mess with it anymore. Let me see, Bill. Bill says, I only have two people who know exactly everything I have, my wife and my partner next door, and we've been friends since the 90s. Yeah, exactly. Keep that circle small. So another way you vet people, observe how they handle stress and pressure. You know, some people are going to crack under pressure and everything. So you got to watch that. See how this person handles pressure and what's going on with that, how they're stressed. If they just, if they get a little bit of stress on them, do they just freak out and start throwing stuff and everything else and yelling, cussing, fussing, all this stuff? It's like, man, you're not going to handle stress super well. Some little bitty thing happened and we're in a good situation right now and you're freaking out. What would it be like if we were in a grid down situation and something like that happened? Are you just going to go totally ape shit crazy or what? So look at the way they handle stress. Another big one, listen for gossip. I mean, is this person running their mouth? Are they talking about, well, Bobby Sue did this and she was running around. I saw her, doing this and that and, just all kinds of crap. If they're talking about other people and gossiping about stuff, they're probably going to tell your secrets too. So once they turn around, they're going to be like, well, Jason's got this and he's got that. So are they a gossip person? And now gossip is different than telling people what went on. So, yes, you can talk about what went on and stuff like that, but gossiping and telling people everybody's business and stuff like that, there's a difference on it. So watch. If they're going to share other people's secrets and gossip about stuff, they're going to share your secrets too. So the thing is, trust is earned in action and not talking about it. So, but start inviting people over. One of the big things, the homestead meetups that we do, we've got people, we're meeting people in a public location that's a neutral location. We can meet people, do stuff. The festival, we're meeting people and everything. But now the homestead meetups are a smaller event. You get to meet people in a neutral area and you can control. It's not like, somebody you don't know is coming over to your house and they're looking at all your crap that you got going on. Yes, we do have people come to my house when we do processing classes, but a lot of the stuff is out of sight where nobody knows, where stuff's at. So I control what people see on that. And you're not just wandering around my place aimlessly looking in drawers and looking in closets and stuff like that. But invite these people, invite them to small project or small groups, a work day, a cannon day, a range day, do some stuff. Start off small. The homestead meetups are great because you're sitting there talking to people and you're like, man, this guy seems pretty cool. Maybe we need to go out and do a range day. So talk to the guy, get their contact info, and then talk to them a little bit more. Talk to them on the phone. Do some stuff like that. It's kind of like dating, dating people and stuff like that. Get to know them. And then as you keep building along, you're building that trust and stuff like that. See if they contribute to stuff. If you're going to do, like a small workshop, see if they contribute and what they're going to do, or if they're just going to sit back and take advantage. Granted, some people are introverts and they're not going to be, jumping out in a public setting all the time, but you can tell if somebody's interested in it, stuff like that. I mean, I know Greg Skeens, him and his wife are doing stuff once a month at their church up around Louisville, and they met some amazing people doing that. So hopefully you can, it's almost like a funnel. You have these meetups and stuff like that, and then everybody gets to meet some people, and then as you keep going, the funnels to get a bunch of people in to where you can talk to them and meet them, and then you just kind of keep weeding down on people that you really like. Not that we're meeting people and it's like, that guy's a goober, that guy's a no-go, anything like that. Some people just don't get along with people. So it's just, it's just finding the right people and stuff like that. So do the small groups, stuff like that. Go to some of these workshops, go to your festivals. I mean, a festival is a great place to meet people and everything. So look at that. And trust should not be an instant thing. They always say, oh, it was love at first sight. It's like bullshit. You were probably horny or something and you thought it was love at first sight. There's no love at first sight kind of thing. Trust is not instant. It needs to be tested. It needs to be earned. So don't give somebody a key to your house the first day you meet them, that kind of thing. So let me see. Let me scroll through my notes. All right, finding some balance. So you got to find the balance. You got the loose lip prepper and the ghost prepper. So the loose lip prepper, that that person can't stop talking about their setup, posting pictures of the food storage, talks about gear all the time. And, he's always talking about the new gun he bought and the new chest rig. And he's always talking about how he just got another pallet of Mountain House in, that kind of stuff. We're just doing this, we're doing that, and everything. He just constantly all the time talking about it and showing everything that he's got. Then you got the ghost prepper guy. He never shares anything, not even with their spouse or their group. I mean, he like totally isolated kind of thing, which is bad. I mean, then if you're the ghost prepper guy, you're almost totally isolated. You might as well be a lone wolf. Yeah, you've got a ton of people around you, but they don't know everything that you've got. Even if your wife doesn't know stuff. And guys, I know some people are like, the guys are going to be like, well, I have to hide some of my guns from my wife because she doesn't like me buying those. And she doesn't, I don't need to tell her how much money I spend on guns. Guys, if your wife gets upset on how much money you spend on guns, you'll probably need to have a talk. So I don't get on my wife on what she spends. My wife doesn't get on me what I spend. As long as your bills are paid and your children are taken care of and you want to go buy some stuff, go buy some stuff. But don't go out and buy, a new $1,200-$1,500 rifle when you didn't make the house payment. That's a little stupid. So, your wife should know everything that you have. My wife knows all the guns, all the food storage, all that kind of stuff that we've got. I'm not hiding any guns or any kind of stuff like that from my wife. Heck, she sees if I order stuff from Amazon or wherever, she's here during the day and she sees the truck roll up and deliver stuff. When I come in with something new, she's like, hey, what'd you get? I'm like, here, we bought this. I bought a new gun. I bought a new whatever. And she's like, okay, cool. So, and then when she goes and buys stuff, I don't fuss at her. I'm like, that's neat. Cool. So don't be the guy that is, the ghost prepper that doesn't share anything with their spouse or their group or anything like that. And then I found some tips online. Tips for smart OPSEC. Don't label bins or buckets with rice, ammo, or cash. I don't know why anybody would label a bin cash. So that's a little weird. But it says don't label bins or buckets, and I found this somewhere. I kind of agree with that, but kind of don't. I like stuff that's labeled just because I can look at it and see. Now, this is if you're going to have people in and out of your house and stuff like that. Avoid showing your full property layout online. 100% agree with that. I mean, don't show, a whole Google Earth image on YouTube and show it where the house is at and that kind of stuff and where everything, because people can look at it and be like, hey, we could do this. But then if people find your address, they can pull it up on Google Earth, but just don't show more than you have to. Keep discussions general. Say, I keep extra food instead of I have a year's supply of Mountain House. Just keep general stuff. It's like, yeah, we got a little bit of emergency food. Don't tell them you got a year's supply of Mountain House or a year's supply of MREs. Talk about the skills and not stuff. People are not going to be able to steal your skills. But if you talk about, hey, Yeah, I've done some firearms training classes and stuff like that. I went and took the other day fighting pistol at tactical response. That's an awesome class. I learned how to do this and that. People can't steal your training, but they can come in if you keep talking about, oh man, I got a new, Barrett 50 cal and all this kind of stuff. They can come steal your 50 cal. So talk about the skills of stuff like that. Uh, be keep quiet competence. Be known as capable, not stocked. So you want to be the guy that is capable of doing things, not the weirdo that's totally stocked with stuff. Just be the guy that knows how to do stuff and competent on all these different things. Uh, that, let me see what else I've got on here. And it's going to be, and it goes back to community stuff. You've got to share with your neighbors a little bit, but don't overshare until they're in that inner circle kind of thing. You don't want to share everything with it, but the lone wolf prepper and everything is going to be the first ones to die. So you're going to have to build that community. You're going to have to trust people some to get in and to survive on all this stuff. You're going to have to stick your neck out a little bit. Just don't stick it out too far that it gets chopped off. Build a relationship with these people. It's just like building any of your community and stuff like that. Don't just go all in. You're going to have to go through a lot of people before you meet the right people to have a smaller community with. There are people right around, that I know that are preppers and stuff like that around me. They're okay people, but would I want them coming to my house in a grid down situation? No. They're cool for hanging out with and some stuff like that, but having them on my property all the time, no way. I mean, and it kind of gets down with doing life with these people, talking to the people and building an actual relationship with them, and not just somebody you see, twice a month or once a month, something like that. It's people that you got their phone numbers. If you got a problem, you can call these people and do stuff like that with it. So, look at your OPSEC. One thing for the week, look at your OPSEC. Look at who knows what about your property, and look about who's in your inner circle and who you might bring in slowly but surely and introduce them to some stuff. I know there's a few people that know everything I've got, and that's kind of the way I'm going to keep it until somebody might come in and, we hit it off fast and hard and we get to be real good buddies and stuff like that, but it's going to take time. I don't care who you are, or, we're not going to fall in love in an instant kind of thing, but we can still build a great community on stuff. So guys, that's about all I've got. Don't forget, on the website, free shipping on $150 or more, and you get 10% off your order. That is running right now on the website. Go check everything out. Everything is in stock. Also, don't forget the Land Nav workshop is 25% off. That is going to be this Saturday and Sunday at Barren River Lake State Park. We got a few more seats left. I would love to get a couple more guys in that class. It's going to be fun. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about hanging out with Mike on Friday and setting the course up. Anytime I get to hang out with Mike, it's fun. But guys, I appreciate it. I've got to finish programming these little beauties and get them packed up and some stuff printed out so I can shoot those out in the mail this afternoon. But guys, I appreciate it. I will see y'all tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. Shelly and I will be on here with Leslie talking about all kinds of herbal stuff. So guys, I appreciate it, and I will see y'all later. Bye.